Geeky things to talk about. Stick around. Geek 360 is next. Hey everybody, welcome to the Season 2 premiere of Geek 360. So you know what that means. We weren't canceled. Joke's on you, Mom and Dad. I am Tommy Bechtold, and with me as always is my co-host, Stephanie Pressman.
I just want to state for the record that we're not always together, you guys. We spend our time apart.
That's true. Most of the time. Guys, what a geek week it's been. Let's get right into it. Captain America, Civil War, plot synopsis has been released in the form of a casting breakdown. And the synopsis is basically this. After the events of Age of Ultron, the world governments are passing regulation acts to limit superheroes. And this divides the Avengers into two sides, Iron Man and Captain America. Now, as we know if we've read our comics, that's basically following the logic of the comic book. With the exception of the Superhero Registration Act specifically mentioned in the comic book is not mentioned in this plot synopsis. So I don't know. I'm pretty excited about Civil War, although I just don't know how they're going to make Robert Downey Jr. the quasi-bad guy.
Well, I'm excited that they're sticking to the storyline because that's what fans always want. They get really mad when you change things up and it's not like what they read in the comic book or the book. We hear that time after time. So I'm just excited that it's kind of sticking to the plotline. Robert Downey Jr., he's been a badass before. I'm for it. Yeah. So next up, we have the trailer for Pixels came out the last week. If you haven't seen this yet, it's based on a short film that was made about signals being sent out into space in the 80s, and they sent out, like, with the signals, they sent out video game footage, and then aliens think we're trying to attack them, and they send video game characters that are pixelated to the Earth to destroy us. It stars Adam Sandler, and Kevin James is playing a president. What?
What a jump from mall cop to president.
So this is clearly a comedy, for sure. This is a comedy, but Pixels, why so serious? Right. I mean, this trailer took things way too seriously. It didn't make me want to see it.
I just don't know that I can watch. I like Adam Sandler. But, like, this is an action movie with Adam Sandler, and it seems like this happens to male actors in their late 40s. It's like they got to prove they still got it by, like, dodging missiles and stuff. And this, to me, seems like Adam Sandler's, like, I'm still young at heart type movie. Like, I could still run around and be chased by a car and a giant Pac-Man and Donkey Kong. I mean, I'm excited. I thought the trailer looked good, but it definitely looked like a trailer for not a movie starring Adam Sandler, Kevin James, and Josh
No, I feel
Gad.
like if they had just gone funny, then it would have been exciting.
Right.
Wah, wah.
For those of you with a taste of brains, the show iZombie premiered on the CW this week, and I got to admit, I have to admit, I thought this show is not for me. I am not in the demographic of what this program is. I watched the pilot, and I enjoyed it, and I'm going to tune in. I believe it airs again tonight, so.
Well, Tuesdays. It airs Tuesdays.
Well, yes. In some alternate reality, it'll air Tuesday, and I will watch the second episode. So, iZombie, congratulations. You've got a fan and a 31-year-old man.
Now, my thing about iZombie was it's Rob Thomas, who is the creator of Veronica Mars, Party Down, shows that are really beloved to me. And I heard that this was a very, very Rob Thomas show, that it had that quick, quirky, quirpiness to it.
Quirpy?
Quirpy, I don't know. Any word with a Q. I heard that was what was going to be going on in the show, and I didn't feel it was fast-paced enough. I felt that it was definitely for a preteen, early teen demographic, and I just wanted it to be a little smarter, but I will probably keep watching. So ConTV premiered this new show called Fight of the Living Dead that takes a bunch of YouTube stars and put them in body bags and put them in a prison, and zombies came out, and it's a reality kind of competition show. I just have to say that if this was me and you put me in a body bag and dumped me in a prison with a bunch of actors dressed up as zombies, I really hope your insurance is super high, because I watch Walking Dead. If I'm in a prison and zombies start to attack, I am going to kill those actors.
Right. Someone making $82 for 8 hours is going to get murdered by you in this scenario. And I agree. There was that show on MTV like a while back. It was called like Fear, I think, where they'd like turn people loose. It was like a game show, but you'd like go into like a haunted mansion or insane asylum. And I always felt like if I was forced to be on that show, I definitely would like have stabbed the sound guy by accident anytime there was a quick noise. I feel like these shows are lawsuits waiting to happen. And also, it's kind of really difficult concept because zombies are not real, or are they?
Well, I think we learned a very valuable lesson tonight on Geek 360. Apparently, during Halloween, we're going to have to put Tommy in haunted houses.
Yeah, I will never go into a haunted house again, okay? I went there once when I was 15. I went with a date. Needless to say, she had to hold me throughout the entire thing. It was awful. Guys, we got to take a quick break. When we come back, we've got our guest. We're so excited. Player Piano is here. But first, we're going to get a quick message from our favorite sweaty nerds.
Oh, it's time to get sweaty. It's time to get sweaty.
Start over.
Sweaty, sweaty.
You want to get super sweaty?
Oh my God, look at
So you want to start reading some comics, huh?
Hey, I'm John Schnepp, and you're watching Sweaty Nerds, the show that covers comic books, science fiction, special effects, fantasy, movies, video games.
Anything that gets you sweaty.
We're going to be covering, so check it out.
Activate.
I remember seeing it in the theater, and it blew me away.
10 hours makeups, 5 minutes of shooting, and then like 4-hour removal. And that was a shoot day.
How awesome does this just look? I never really understood the character of Superman until I read this.
Absolutely one of the best sci-fi movies ever made. You have to see it because it holds up to today.
It's the best game ever. It is undisputed. You need to play this game before you die or I will cry.
I'm turning into something.
I think he focuses on the right things in sci-fi. I think some science fiction films get bogged down in showing you all this cool stuff.
Sure.
Sweaty nerds.
It's all wedding,
Sweaty.
Sweaty.
Sweaty nerds.
You will watch it.
Only on the stream.tv and...
Sprinkle, 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 go.
Welcome back to Geek 360. Our guests tonight that we're joined by are Tom Gray and Sonia Belasova from Player Piano. Everybody.
We have a lot more to talk to you about, but first we got to get into some stuff because something happened in movies this week that blew my mind. I didn't see it coming. Kevin Smith announced there will be a Mallrats 2. I love Mallrats 1. I cannot wait for Mallrats 2. Really, it's kind of an interesting movie because although they had done projects before, it kind of launched Ben Affleck and Jason Lee, and really it was Kevin Smith's kind of first fully funded movie. I mean, he did Clerks kind of on like beg, borrow, and steal scenarios, and I'm wondering if that magic, how do you guys feel if they're going to be able to recapture that magic at all?
Well, first off, you can't.
Right.
It's going to be a bunch of old people at a mall that is like a empty mall because
Right.
no one really goes to malls as much anymore. So I don't really know what they're possibly going to do.
They're obviously going to have to do some sort of generational thing of like, these are now all actors in their 40s. What are they doing hanging out at a mall? Will it be their children? Will it be, are we going to get like the Zac Efrons of the world showing up in this movie, like hanging out at the mall?
You're going to get Kevin James on a security guard riding around on a Segway.
That's right. They definitely need to get Michael Rooker back regardless of...
Was that the first movie that Stan Lee did a cameo in?
That was a huge cameo in that film, too.
Yeah.
Speaking of, you guys have worked with Stan Lee a bunch. What was that like?
It was awesome.
That was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. Yeah, we originally we did when we came up with the idea for doing piano stuff, we did a show called Cosplay Piano, and we did a couple episodes for them before we sort of went our own way and launched Player Piano as its own channel. And it was great. I mean, Stan's awesome. I did a lot of videos with Stan, actually, so I got to see him quite a lot, which was, from a nerd perspective, it was just bizarre being like, I'm going to Stan Lee's office today. I'm going to go shoot him.
Yeah.
Of course.
We did this parkour video where we had a guy dressed as Stan Lee, like incredible free runner doing parkour moves, and Stan originally wasn't in the thing at all, and then he saw.
really? He wasn't?
Oh yeah. Well, then he saw a cut because his assistant was worried. He was like, "This is terrible. Like Stan's not going to want to tarnish his name like this." Stan saw it and was like, "I want you to put me in the video." Right. So we intercut Stan through it. So
That's great.
awesome.
That's awesome. I mean, for me, Kevin Smith rarely disappoints, and I hope that Mallrats is no different.
Well-
Now, speaking of nostalgia, we have to move on. Stephanie, I know you'd love to talk Kevin Smith all day. Speaking of nostalgia, in the TV world, we got another big announcement. In 2017, just a brisk 2 years away, DuckTales will be coming back to the screen. Hold on to your beaks. We're getting those DuckTales back. I'm excited. Here's where I get nervous, guys. Now, I don't know if you guys are Powerpuff Girls fans at all or are familiar with them. Now, they ended Powerpuff Girls proper in like 2003. I believe they stopped making those cartoons. And then they came back and did a one-off special, and it was shot with the 3D animation. And the jokes had kind of changed from jokes for kids and jokes that would go over the heads for the adults into just broad jokes for kids. DuckTales and 3D animation, does that interest you? Do you think they should move on with the times, or do you think they should try and keep it close to the original?
There's a lot of duck stuff going on right now. Ducks are very, very popular. We've got Howard the Duck coming back in a completely different way.
Howard the Duck's coming? Oh, at the end of the.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm worried about DuckTales because I'm worried that we're going to see Huey, Dewey, and Louie after their spoiled rich kid drug overdoses and stuff. We're going to see grown up triplets, and I'm a little worried about that.
I have a feeling that it's Disney, right? So I have a feeling Disney's going to keep it Huey, Dewey, and Louie as children.
Yeah.
And I hope that it stays to its traditional animation because. It's we don't have enough of that anymore, and it's nice to still see it. That being said, if it is 3D animated, but people, they enjoyed the Star Wars 3D animated thing.
True.
I never got into it, but people told me, it was really good. I think after a while, it's if the story works, if the characters are great, whatever.
I think that's a great point. And I think also the 3D animation, I think as adults, we're all, we all kind of grew up with a certain type of animation. And it's not really for us anymore. Yeah. And if if an 8-year-old kid watches the new DuckTales in 2017 and wants it to be animated the way the shows that he now watches are, that's probably the way they're going to make money. So
I mean, as long as they keep the DuckTales theme song the same,
right?
That's true.
That's all that really matters.
That's all that matters.
I agree. I am also slightly concerned that Scrooge McDuck survived the 2008 recession with his gold pool intact.
Well, no, because gold actually was a great investment.
That's a good point.
Instead of diversifying and having his funds be all over the place.
That's true. He had it in gold coin. He may now be so rich that he rules the world.
Well, they did say the 1% just kept getting richer. So
that's right.
Scrooge McDuck is probably the 1% of the 1%.
That's true.
Aren't you guys doing something with DuckTales with the piano?
We are.
We are.
Do you want to talk about it?
Why don't you start?
Okay, well, so we, when we were doing our crowdfund campaign, we did this Indiegogo campaign, and we do these great, big, high-quality music videos, and then at one point we were like, okay, well, we need something to go on the channel this week because we don't really have anything, so we just set up a camera on a tripod, put up one little light, and sat in front of a piano and just sort of...
Yeah, we had an idea of me just listening to video game themes and coming up with an arrangement on the spot.
Yeah, so we did Nintendo themes.
Right.
And one of those Nintendo themes.
Out of the ones we did, I only heard Mario before.
Right.
And none of the other ones. So that was brand new for me. And yeah, one of the themes was DuckTales Moon theme.
Great game.
The Moon theme, if you remember the Moon theme.
Yes. Of course.
Yeah, and she did that, and it was. I was blown away sitting there listening to it, so I had her play it again, and so many people were like, "DuckTales Moon theme."
Well, I went into the more lyrical direction of the song, making it lyrical, pretty, and
Apparently everybody loved it. So.
I like that. That's beautiful.
So we had a lot of people asking us about it over and over again, and then we actually made it one of the perks of the campaign that help us get to 100%, and we will make a DuckTales Moon theme video.
And I just, literally just started working on the song like a week ago, so it's coming out really nicely.
So are you going to have 3D animated ducks in it?
No, we're going to have real ducks.
All right.
It's going to be, I made a joke once, but I wasn't joking. It's going to be Sonia playing a piano with 1,000 ducks just roaming around.
I approve of that. I think that's going to be wonderful. Now, in terms of DuckTales and Disney cartoons coming back, I say let's get dangerous and bring Darkwing Duck back.
And I think they should bring Tailspin back.
Tailspin was a great show. Guys, we've got an unbelievable Geek of the Week this week. Speaking of dangerous, I got dangerously deep into this blog. Our Geek of the Week is CuriousJoy.com, who is, of course, celebrating a birthday today. I didn't know that, but I'm just intuitive. You know when people deserve a shout out. Curious Joy, she does everything. She interviews comic book artists, she vlogs about conventions, tries out geeky products. What's not to love about Curious Joy? Check her out on Twitter. I believe it's @CuriousJoy.
With an I.
With an I. Curious Joy. It's almost French. I like that. Make sure you check out her site. Now, when we come back, we have our brand new gaming host, Erica Ishii. We're very excited, but first we got to take a quick message, take a quick break with a message from the stream.tv.
Woo!
Hey, I'm Allison Hazelwood from NBC's The Voice.
Hi, I'm Don Mancini, the creator of Chucky.
This is Angelina Jolie.
Hi, I'm John Landis. Hey, I'm Rob Zombie.
Strange little voices we throw back and forth at dinner.
I'm Tara Buck from True Blood.
Hey, this is Sam Whooper from Sci-Fi's B&Q.
I'm Taryn Southern.
I'm Elijah Wood.
I don't understand how percentages work. Me neither.
Time to get excited,
Hi, I'm
guys!
Sean Becker, director of The Guild.
I'm Patrick Barone.
We're the Twisted Twins.
I'm Ethan Ramirez.
Hi, I'm Jessica Choba.
You've been watching
The Stream.
.tv.
What's up, world? It's your boy Dave Storm. You're watching The Stream.tv.
Oh, look at that.
It is not banana. Stop it.
You'll never find the more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Hi, I'm Elijah Drenner, director of American Grindhouse.
Hi, I'm Ken Davidian from The Artist.
Hello, this is Pollyanna McIntosh from The Woman.
Hi, this is Tim Schlotman, co-executive producer of Dexter.
You're watching Scared Stiff. I'm Jennifer Blunt.
What's up, Internet? This is Splits. This is Gamer Lobby Live.
The more animated he is, the better.
Well, let's do this.
One more yeah for that. I'm so excited.
Thank you to the Stream.tv.
I want to see a good clean match.
I think the idea of Martian Manhunter in the background is just to judge you. You're watching.
And you're watching.
And you're watching the Stream.tv.
You're watching.
You're watching the Stream.tv.
The Stream.tv.
You're watching The Stream.
TV. The Stream. The Stream.
The Stream.
The Stream.
Stream. The Stream. The Stream.
Stream.tv.
The Stream.tv.
The Stream.tv.
Hi, I'm Erica Ishii, and I'm super excited to be the new video game correspondent here on Geek 360. Today, I'm going to be talking about the landscape of virtual reality. We're not at the holodeck yet, people, but still, right now on the market, we have headsets that you strap to your face and that will track your head movements and immerse you in a completely three-dimensional space. That's so cyberpunk, right? Where are my Snow Crash fans at? Metaverse? Metaverse? Anybody? Anyway, last weekend I was at an amazing event called Virtual Reality Los Angeles, or VRLA. It started out last year as a small meetup group, and then it's ballooned into becoming the biggest virtual reality exposition that's been held thus far. I was able to try the sexy new Project Morpheus. It's this Sony console that's going to work with the PS4 and the Vita. It's coming out in the first half of next year. I got the chance to play a demo with these cute little robots called bedroom robots, and I tried an indie game called Luna Station, which is an astronomy simulator, and you can meet up with other people in this virtual space station, and you can watch
live feeds from telescopes that are orbiting in space right now. I mean, I don't ever have to go to space in real life. I can actually be there in this virtual reality simulator. Also, there was Jaunt, which is a company that creates cinematic experiences. So they'll go out and they'll film things with these special cameras, and then they'll drop you right into the center of a concert, or onto the top of a mountain, or in the middle of a kaiju attack. It wasn't gaming so much, but it was a glimpse at where movies and television shows are going to go in the future. The future of virtual reality technology. What does that mean for gamers? Well, I keep using the word immersive, but I cannot stress how much that's going to change the games we play and how we play them. For instance, back in the day when we transitioned from two-dimensional animation to three-dimensional animation, you saw a shift from side-scroller games to more third-person adventures. And now that we have this technology that can drop you into the middle of a game, I'm wondering if game companies aren't going to start taking advantage of that. Also, what's going to happen with violence? To be honest with you, killing a hooker in Grand Theft Auto on a flat screen TV is a whole lot different than killing a hooker in Grand Theft Auto right there, viscerally, in that three-dimensional space. So are companies going to start toning down violence and blood and gore, or are we as gamers going to just get used to it and be integrated into that kind of culture? What's going to happen with couch co-op? You know, couch co-op where you're sitting with your buddies and you're all playing the same game on the same screen. Well, if you're in your own little visor bubble, then how am I supposed to see the look of utter desolation on my opponent's face when I school them in Super Smash Brothers? I need that feedback. As a side note to that, there's going to be a new technology called augmented reality, or AR. The Microsoft HoloLens, which Lord knows when that's coming out, is going to be a visor where you can still see the world around you, but virtual images are going to be integrated into that everyday life. Like, for instance, you're going to have your schedule up on the wall that you can flick through. You can have a game out on your living room table that you can play. And I think the best collaborative gaming experiences are going to come from AR as opposed to VR. Really, the sky's the limit for this technology. It has applications other than entertainment, simulations for education, travel. You can go anywhere in the world and it's going to feel real as soon as they come up with smell-o-vision. What are you excited about for virtual reality? Tweet me at Samurai Erica, or just leave notes in the comments about what you're looking forward to. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm Erica Ishii.
Dang, that was pretty virtually crazy. That was some nice tech right there. I gotta be honest, I'm excited. Virtual reality usually makes me a little car sick, or, you know, whatever, motion sick, as they say. Maybe if I'm virtually driving a car, but I'm excited to try it out. You know, I gotta get up with the times. It's well documented I'm not a gamer, but I'm going to try and become one this year. It's my New Year's resolution. A lot of people try and better themselves physically. I'm gonna play more video games. Speaking of amazing tech, you guys, Steve Jobs dropped a little piece of tech from heaven this week with the announcement of the Apple Watch, which checks in. It's top of the line, branded a cool $17,000, which, you know, seems outrageous, but you go down to La Jolla, California and spend some time at the beach and everybody there is wearing a $15,000 watch. So it's really not that crazy. My thing with a piece of technology like this, with an Apple Watch, is like, you're not using it just as a watch. It's obviously got the functionality and you're hoping the features of your other Apple products. Now, this watch, I take off at night and set down. An Apple Watch, you're playing with all day, you've got to recharge. It seems like there's a lot more opportunity to destroy this. And most technology at the end of the day that I own will be destroyed in some sort of catastrophic way. Run over by a car, dropped on the ground, thrown by a scorned lover, I don't know. One of those ways.
Right.
Are you guys thinking about shelling out 10 G's for one of these things?
Well, we did just finish a crowdfund campaign, so those funds could go towards something.
You guys could just go all Apple Watches with that.
Just kidding, Indiegogo contributors. No.
Oh no.
I cannot see myself putting $1,000 towards an Apple iWatch.
Well, for me, it's simpler because since I play piano, I don't really wear a watch because I don't know. I'm just used to not wearing a watch because I always like play something or like compose something. So
you are not in their target demo for that. Stephanie, you got 10 grand to drop on one of these bad boys? We pay you pretty high.
I have been drooling over the Apple Watch since they first gave us a teaser months ago. I wanted that rose gold leather strapped beauty, which I'm finding out now is about 10 grand. Do I think I'll get that? No, I may get like the $300, closer to the $300 mark in a year or two when the price drops. I mean, I still have an iPhone 4.
Right.
Me too.
Yay.
Don't upgrade. Don't.
It's nothing but sadness.
It's nothing but sadness.
5 is good.
5 is fine.
5 is good. 6 is just, it's like too much for me.
I've been a loyal Apple user though since the Apple IIgs. That was my family's first computer. So I had the purple iMac. I have every like laptop that they've had. I have the iPad. I am an Apple junkie, so I want it. I
we're
want
Apple
it really
fans,
bad.
and the sport version, like, as Stephanie said, is going to go down to $349 to $399. So that's comparable to an iPhone, but. Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, I know the Galaxy Watch, you have to have an actual Apple device. You have to have your iPhone near the phone for it to work like that. So you still have to own 2 pieces of Apple technology, which in a way is what makes them so genius. Because like you said, updating and getting newer Apple products really just means like making all of your old stuff obsolete and unusable. And anytime you use any of the new upgrades on a 5, it ruins it. Like I have a 5 and I have the 6 running platform, and now my battery lasts 5 minutes.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, with this, is like putting aside the price, but if you shelled out 10 grand, when it comes time to upgrade, I'm assuming that they have some kind of upgrade program.
Right.
Because the battery on that thing is going to die after a certain point. I'm sure you can switch it out, but it's Apple, so.
Either way, I think, at the end of the day, these Apple Watches will control us at some point when Skynet takes over.
Yes.
And it is a good fashion accessory. Speaking of fashion accessories, Stephanie, I meant to compliment you, and Erica, you guys both look great.
Oh, thanks, Tommy. That leads us to our brand new segment about fashion finds. I know it's really difficult out there to find really cute or handsome, nerdy fashion, and I have this little show called Fashionably Nerdy, that's fashionablynerdy.com, and we find this stuff for you, and we're gonna bring you some on Geek 360. So tonight, Erica and I's dresses are from Gold Bubble Clothing. Gold Bubble is a small designer, Victoria Schmidt, creates all this stuff. She makes really awesome leggings, anything really that's spandex. I'm sure you can figure out what that's supposed to be, some specific rebel.
Never tell her the odds.
But yeah, Gold Bubble's awesome. They make fun stuff out of spandex. You can have D20s all over your bum. So we love them, and this is from the last Unicorn collection, and Erica's is from Gamer Love collection. And so, yeah. So check out goldbubble.com and fashionablynerdy.com.
All right. Well, when you get a break, check that out. We're going to take a quick break right now, and we'll be right back after a message from the stream.tv.
Just in case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live.
Just in case you missed it live.
Oh, just in case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live, I'm doing something right now.
So we're all super excited.
So this is dancing.
So what would that be, like a 7?
I cannot. I literally cannot. You guys have got to get it together.
Don't hate the player, don't hate the game. Hate the contract you didn't get.
He's a coward. He's a giant chicken shit.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's going to be like hurricane. Whoa.
Watch out for those girls. They are gagging them.
Hold the phone.
Hold on.
Bro.
That the more brutal you are, the more power you have.
Right.
That was sexy. It was hot. It was heated. I was into it.
You are going to be the most high-paid hooker in the world.
Go ahead and invite your friends and everybody. Tell your mama. Tell them, go ahead and turn the stove off and get up on the computer so we can get on the stream.tv.
Thank you again for joining us, and until next week, bye-bye.
tell you what, that Fan Show Network has some attractive hosts on it, okay? Let me just say. Speaking of attractive, we got some very attractive guests. We are so happy to have Player Piano with us today because both Stephanie and I are huge fans. We love the videos. We love that you combine the beautiful piano arrangements with the cosplay and with the thematic. The Walking Dead video is incredible. It's so good. Game of Thrones as well is another one I'm a huge fan of.
Kira.
She could go on and on.
I can go on and on.
So we just now we'd like to talk to you guys about what you got coming up next. Now, I heard you mention the crowdfunding thing before, so if you want to give us whatever details you're allowed to.
Sure. Well, we did a crowdfund on Indiegogo that we finished up, and part of our perk for that, again, because we did that Nintendo on the spot video, everybody loved it so much, so we decided to do a Nintendo album. That actually became one of our perks. So it became, at that point, it was help us reach 75%, and we'll make a Nintendo album, and everybody that contributed to the campaign of however much would get the Nintendo album. So we're currently making that.
Yep, I'm currently working on that.
Nice.
And it's a full album, so it takes a little bit of time.
Sure.
Well, how many songs we're gonna have? Is it like 8 songs?
8
right?
songs.
Yeah, so.
It's 7 songs plus a bonus that we had people vote on.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
Which we're not releasing yet what song that bonus song is yet, but
So, yeah, I'm currently
I
working
love
on
mysteries.
I'm currently working on the arrangements, and then we're gonna go to the studio, record all of this, and we're gonna have to mix that, so it's actually a process.
Sure.
But it's coming together really well.
And we're picking a couple of the songs from that album, and we're going to make full player piano videos from
There's
them.
gonna be DuckTales. What else? Super Mario.
DuckTales,
Right?
Super Mario, and the third one we
Mega
haven't.
Man. You were saying?
Probably Mega Man.
Okay,
Well, here, actually, this is perfect. Let me ask you: Mega Man, Castlevania, Contra.
Oh, Castlevania is a
That's a
tough
hard
one.
one.
I still Mega Man. I'm a Mega Man kid at heart. I would love to see a Mega Man video.
Contra would be great though too. This is really hard.
Look, we gave you all 3. I'm gonna stay firm with my vote for Mega Man.
I'm gonna throw out there Metroid.
Metroid. Well, Metroid's good too. I mean, it depends on which Metroid. Like the original Metroid, just.
Which would be why it would be so cool to see Sonia do it.
So where now?
I remember that one.
We are certainly experts in finding you guys online, but for online. But for people who are watching, where can we find you guys? You have a website, which is
PlayerPianomusic.com.
PlayerPianomusic.com, and the channel name on your YouTube channel is?
It's Player Piano Videos is the YouTube channel. If you just on YouTube, if you just click Player Piano, and it'll probably come up. We've done Tetris, Akira, Street Fighter. You'll see it. It's pretty branded.
Great.
And then we also have a Facebook, which is Player Piano Videos. Facebook.com/.
Get on that Facebook. I'm a believer of Facebook. I think those guys at Facebook are onto something.
I think they might be onto something. It's a lot harder to get Facebook followers now than it used to be like a couple years ago. I've noticed it's. They want you to pay to advertise on Facebook.
They really have. They've certainly done a good job of monetizing it. Whereas Twitter is just a free for all, click and stick is what I call it. The old click and stick. Guys, thank you so much for coming on. We were really honored to have you. Guys, thank you for tuning in for another season of Geek 360. We'll be back next week with an all-new episode. For Erica Ishii and my co-host Stephanie Pressman, I'm Tommy Bechtold. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you next week. For more Geek 360, click subscribe on thestream.tv.